Happy Friday, May 16th. We're almost there. Hello, H. Davis. Hello, hello. You are the first one here again. Good for you. Good, good, good. Hello, how are you doing today? I hope your Friday is blessed and going great. I hope everything is going very good for you today. Hey, Woman's Warrior. Hello, hello, beautiful. How are you doing? I hope your Friday's going good too. Hello, hello, hello. So, welcome in, everybody. I don't know if we'll have many people here or not, but I wanted to come on here and let you know that I was alerted a couple of hours ago. They had 11 inmates break out. It looks like with help, looks like an inside job from New Orleans. Hello, Sharon. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hope everyone's having a great Friday afternoon. Hope everybody's having a good number 2. Thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Take a moment to hit that thumbs up. That's right. We definitely need to get this one out in the algorithm. So if you are in the bushes, just go ahead and please hit that thumbs up. And I appreciate it. Woman's Warrior said, "Hey, Smiley, I'm a bit better. It's been poorly. It's not about quantity. It's about quality. The best people will be here." Absolutely. Absolutely. It's fine. They can watch it later, too. Absolutely. If they want to. If they don't, that's fine, too. Hey, Irony Rose. Hello, hello. Hope your Friday is going good. Hope everything's going good for everybody on this Friday. It's a beautiful day here. I've been wasting my day outside because, well, it's not really a waste. I've just been sitting out there doing my thing, piddling around because it's so beautiful outside today, getting some fresh air. I haven't got too much done. I have done some videos and stuff like that. Hey, Cherish your Sparkle. Hey, hey. Welcome, welcome. Welcome in. Hope everything's good for you today as well. So, yeah, we're going to watch a couple of updates and videos. And I was just alerted to this, but evidently, there was 11 prisoners who broke out of custody today over in New Orleans, Louisiana. And I'm so sorry to all the New Orleans people who has to be frightened until all these people are gathered. And also, you know, I can't believe this is an inside job. I mean, I can believe it. It's hard to understand it. It really is. Why would you want to put people like that out on the street? I hear they have a bunch of people with murder charges and stuff like that. Gosh, wow. I'm looking. Of course, I have to get in my phone because I got a lock on it. Hold on. So they found one. They might have found 2, is what I heard, but they found one. I think the other one didn't run, but they found one. Kendall Miles was arrested by state police near the New Orleans French Quarter after he and the others ran away from the jail. So they did get him. They have him in custody. And if I'm understanding right, the other one, maybe they got him because he didn't run. The transparency of this is at 8:30, sheriff learns inmates escape. 9:55, WDSU reached out to the sheriff and NOPD about the escape. They were not aware of an escape. Well, I'm sorry, at 9:53, WDSU receives the tip that the inmates escaped, and then at 9:55, WDSU reached out to the sheriff. At 10:23, WDSU breaks the story that 11 inmates escaped the jail. At 11, public was notified of the inmates' escape. At 11:22, Kendall Myers was captured in the French Quarter, and that was confirmed. At 11:30, Sheriff Susan Hudson holds the news conference, which we're going to watch that, and doesn't allow media to ask questions. I don't know if that's the same one I'm watching or not, because the one that I watched, they did ask questions. But anyway, we're going to watch it. At 11:40, NOPD confirms Kendall Meyer was captured. And at 1:30, OPSO releases photos of the hole they dug by the inmates. And at 2:34, NOLA Ready sends citywide alert on escaped inmates, warning the public. I don't know why that wasn't done sooner, but hey, what do I know? At 2:37 p.m., Sheriff Susan Hudson provides an update. Escaped inmates, they allow one question per news reporter. Okay, so that's the one I watched. The first one, they didn't allow questions. All right, at 2:45, Sheriff Hudson confirms only 10 inmates escaped and 9 are being sought. Okay, so everyone's saying it's, well, I think it's because the one inmate did not run. I heard her say that myself. So 11, 10, whatever. It's still too damn many, right? Okay, that's what I thought. Hey, Bo and Kiki and Irony Rose and everybody coming in, and Trooper's mom and anybody I missed. Sharon, hello, hello, hello. Hello. So I'm going to try to, this is not a normal Friday. Oh my God. Of course it's not a normal Friday. There's a huge public safety issue, and you need to be aware. You need to be on the lookout, especially if you are in the New Orleans area. The inmates were discovered missing. Exactly. I would crap my pants too. I would crap my pants too. They received assistance, and right now they're thinking it is from inside the jail. Hey, hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. So all I can say is stay vigilant, stay safe, and, who knows how they can hitch a ride or how far they can get. I don't know. So we never know. Just stay vigilant. Let's get on with this. Hold on a minute. Let's see. And they have called the marshals in. Let's see. Okay, so let's watch channel 4 first. Hold on a minute. All right. Oh, come on. That's why I don't like this one. Hold on a minute. What? Okay, here we go. Uh-oh. Where's the... Hold on. I got the noise off. Shit. My computer's... This one don't like me. Hold on. Oh. I just can't get what I need off the other one. Hold on. Oh, God. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Hold on.
Fence, barbed wire, and those of how at least the initial breach occurred.
Okay.
We do have a photograph that we'll be showing shortly of, there it is, the hole in the jail wall where this escape initially occurred. That hole you see, there was once a toilet there, and there's supposed to be a toilet. Somehow that got dismantled and removed, leaving a hole through which these 11
Look at that hole.
inmates escaped. Now, this is just the first level of this escape. Clearly, they went through that hole, were free within the complex, still needed to get over the perimeter fence, barbed wire, and those 15 to 20 foot concrete walls. So all hands on deck as far as the investigation of exactly how the breach occurred, including possibly whether there was some help on the inside. This is a lot of damage to a tier inside of that secure facility to have gone on in obviously much damage to a toilet or sink that used to be there. I understand it was a toilet. You can see that scrawled on the wall, too easy, LOL, misspelled too, but nevertheless, presumably inmates almost mockingly stating how easy it was to commit this breach.
All right, hold on just a minute, y'all. Hey, Lady for Justice. Hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. All right, hold on just a minute.
Escape from a jail in New Orleans.
A manhunt is now underway where authorities say the prisoners are considered armed and dangerous. The inmates are all already facing serious charges, including one accused of murder. They were discovered missing during a routine head count just this morning. NBC News correspondent Priya Sridhar joins us with more. Priya, one of the escapees has already been caught, but tell us.
Hey, Morgan. Yeah, that's.
I don't know what in the heck is going on with this. Okay. It's not. Y'all can't hear it, I know. Hold on a minute. Shoot. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having all kinds. Hold on a minute, y'all. I don't know what in the heck this is going on. Oh, I got it. Hold on. Oh, my word. Hold on, because I'm going to stop using this freaking computer if it keeps on. Hold on. Just hold on. All right, here we go. Hold on just a minute. I apologize for that. Hold on.
We all need to continue to work together to solve it, to get these folks back in custody. And we are doing that. All of our energy at OPSO is going towards getting these folks back into custody.
This is her press
And
conference.
finding out exactly what happened. It's a fluid situation. When we're aiming to respond to all media inquiries as quickly as we can possibly do that.
This is the one she lets them ask the questions. Sorry about that, y'all.
Investigation has to stand. We do acknowledge there is no way people can get out of this facility without there being some type of lapse in security. There's no way. It's almost impossible, not completely, but almost impossible for anybody to get out of this facility without help from the outside. We intend to find out exactly what happened. We know that, I want to say that we know that folks are normally locked down in this facility at 10:30 p.m., but these folks that were able to get out did so because of defective locks on the cells. I have talked about those locks since I got into office. I wrote a letter to the consent decree judge, to the city council, and everybody else who would listen. And every time I go to budget, I say the exact same thing. When you all covered our millage, I said the exact same thing. There are deficiencies in these facilities that cause public safety concerns. That's why the millage was so important. We'll get into that a little bit more as we move forward. I need to confirm that Kendall Miles is in custody. He is being rebooked for simple escape as well. OPSO deputies found him hiding beneath the car at the Hotel Monteleone parking garage, and he was transported to OJC by the Louisiana State Police. We also need to acknowledge that Keith Lewis, who was previously reported as an escaped detainee, was in a different cell. So he had been moved, but it had not been updated. So he is not on the run. There were 10, not 11, and he is in our facility and did not try to escape. The remaining individuals are being actively pursued, and our deputies, in collaboration with local and state law enforcement, are working tirelessly to locate and return them to custody. Now we're going to try and go through a little bit of the timeline of events.
Yep, wait till she tells you about
that.
that.
There isn't accurate. What we noticed is that the detainees began yanking on a cell to pull it off track. These are the cells that we keep telling them that we need to replace at great cost in this facility. They were able to break, that was around 12:23 a.m. They were able to break open a door. There was a corrections monitoring technician in the pod module to be watching that. They were still able to exit the jail about 1:01 a.m. after breaching a wall behind a toilet in the jail. And based on video surveillance, they were seen exiting a door on the docks where we normally bring in supplies, scaling a wall, and running across the interstate shortly thereafter. We have indication that these detainees received assistance in their escape from individuals inside of our department, and the escape was discovered during a routine head count at 8:30 a.m. this morning. The deputy who was on duty promptly notified jail leadership, and around probably before 9:30, we notified the United States Marshals Task Force, which includes all of our partners in the area, and that was before 9:30, about the incident. I found out myself about 9 o'clock and was on my way to the jail and moving through it. About that time, the exact time I can't give you, but it was before 9:30. I asked our personnel, have we notified NOPD? Have we notified our partners? I was told yes, the task force was notified. And then we were also able to discern that the NOPD was also notified through the Fusion Center. Now, when this went down, our first concern is to find out who these folks are, confirm, and then we've got to lock down the whole jail and find out, make sure nobody else is missing.
They think so, yeah.
We also have people being moved out to court. We've got to confirm who those are. So this is a fluid situation as we're trying to get a handle on 1,400 people in this facility. So it was a fluid situation. We're still gathering information. We are investigating our own to find out exactly what happened and where those lapses were. But there were supervisors on duty. There were lower level folks on duty, and they all had a job to do. And we're going to find out exactly what happened. I'm going to now turn this over to Chief Jay Mallett, our Chief of Corrections, to talk a little bit more about the cell itself.
Good evening. We do know that there are several security breaches. We're investigating, but the primary security breach and concern is the facility's infrastructure. We've identified that we have a large number of high security individuals in a minimum custody facility. This particular breach of security occurred on the first floor of one of our security pods where we had slider doors. These doors are able to be manipulated by forced off the track that they're on, which allows individuals to enter and exit at will. We do know that some toiletries in a handicap cell was used to be removed. Some of the bolts, some of the toilets, some of the infrastructure, some of the fixtures were removed. We know that this could not be removed from the inside. So we are investigating that to see exactly who entered these areas, what kind of work was done, if there was work being done, and if this is an inside job. We remain fully committed to locating the escapees. We're working with local and federal and state partners. We continue to ask the public for their vigilance. And if anyone has any information about the whereabouts of these individuals, please reach out. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. All right, this incident has once again highlighted the critical need for repairs and upgrades to our facilities, particularly to ensure that doors and locks are fully functional. We currently have 24 pods, and our staff is stretched thin. We are only at about 60% staffing. We still need 150 deputies in this jail and another 50 for the new jail about to open.
Hi, Janice.
So we're actively, and I have been actively advocating since I got into office for more money to fix these broken parts of the jail that make it unsecure. And just this week, we went to a capital budget hearing to lobby for more improvements to address just these issues, which would help improve security and safety for both the detainees and our deputies.
All right, we'll take questions. Sheriff, how many people did you have on staff for this overnight shift that would have not reported this between 1 a.m. and 8:30 a.m.? And wouldn't they have to have known about it if there were plumbing items removed and they were able to get out and there was no notice until 8:30?
Sure. I'm going to turn that over to Chief Mallett.
Good question. We actually had 4 supervisors and 36 staff here. That's a pretty, low ratio, but that's what we had on that particular part. We had a monitoring individual that was actually on site where we believe that the exit occurred was behind the cell wall. The staff that was available at that particular time of day, without going into too many security restrictions, wouldn't know that was going on behind the scene. That's more so a physical plant infrastructure deal that we do more routine daily type inspections of to make sure that these things are right.
Wouldn't they need power tools or something?
And that's something that we're investigating, because you're absolutely right. It was more than just a breach of security. It was some type of help. And we've been, researching, we've been looking, investigating, looking, and it would definitely be some type of tool used other than just the strength of a sheer individual.
See, where'd they get the tools?
Earlier, why didn't that person alert the staffers earlier? I know you said somebody was also in the pod at the time and that they were still able to get out. You can kind of run through.
We're still running through the timeline to narrow that down. That is part of the job, to do that responsibility. That's in everyone's post order. So we're still trying to narrow that down. And as we get information, we'll be sure.
And then also, have the
They know if you could kind of talk a little bit about what they're saying.
Yeah, some of them have reached out to us to try and help. So we're very grateful for that. We obviously don't want to identify what's going on there, but we're definitely getting some help on trying to locate them.
Sheriff, you said that people are politicizing the escape here at the jail, but we talked with Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick early this morning. She also made it very clear that her department, we talked to the U.S. Marshals, we talked to Louisiana State Police, none of them say they were notified before 10:30 a.m. And then once again, y'all said that y'all discovered this at 8:30. Why wasn't the public and partners, local, state, federal, made aware of this sooner?
So I verified, so we have people on the U.S. Marshals Task Force. That's who we notified to make sure the whole task force is ready to roll. And they've been ready to roll since then. So I'm not sure how those up at the top found out, but I know that we notified the task force earlier because our members sit on it. And they came also up here to check on it. So we know that happened. What was your first part of your question? Chief Kirkpatrick has been nothing but a help to us, and we're very appreciative of both the state police and the New Orleans Police Department.
But once again, you all said that y'all made the discovery around 8:30 this morning. The escape happened early hours overnight. And once again, public was not notified until 10:30 when y'all's press release came out.
So I found out about 9.
So why wasn't the public known?
We have to find out is what happened. So you got to go inside the facility to be able to see. They could have been anywhere. We have to make sure that's exactly what happened. We have to pull all the video and find out what happened. That takes a little bit of time. Then we had to first prioritize talking to victims to make sure they were safe and making sure law enforcement could respond to them if they needed something.
I know the superintendent.
The victims. What about the victims in the street? I'm just wondering.
How were they able to get out of the jail property? Also, have you lost trust in your deputies? Because you believe this is an inside job.
Some of them. We have really hardworking deputies, but we're not going to tar and feather everybody with the same brush. We're going to find out exactly what happened, who's responsible, hold them accountable both administratively and criminally.
And how did they get off the jail property?
Get off the jail property. They went out a loading bay door where we bring in supplies, and then they got over a wall. I'm not sure if they used the Chief Mal can tell you more about how they actually got up there.
What we saw was they left, went through an exit door that's in between the actual cell block and the pipe chases. And this is a large facility, so the pipe chase, the exit door, for some reason or another, was designed to lead directly outside. The individual jumped out the door, went down the stairs, went to the perimeter wall, and scaled the wall. We did some looking today, realized that it's some razor wire that we need to put up, some issues, but they scaled the wall, jumped down, and then you have a clear path to the railroad track or the interstate.
Sheriff Hudson, will you be releasing the surveillance video that shows the escape?
I think we're going to. Right now, we're part of the investigation going on, but I think eventually, we'll be able to release that. We just have to make sure nothing doesn't give out any security risks for us, for the rest of the folks here still in custody.
Sheriff, do you believe that you need to revise your policies?
Go ahead. Thank you. CBS News. I'm Katie Boyce. Pleasure. I wanted to ask you a little bit. I can't help but notice all the construction that's going on in your backyard. Does that have anything to do with this? We just saw a police escort bringing in a bunch of concrete. What's going on?
I don't believe it does. That's the new mental health jail, and there's a deputy on duty right there for the gates being open to bring in trucks or whatever needs to come in.
And you said you've been asking for money for a long time. How much money do you need at this point?
The locks alone, I believe, are
5.2 million.
Yeah, just the locks. I mean, 5.2 million.
9 people are still on the loose.
5.2 million for locks.
9 people are still.
Sheriff, do you feel like you need to revise your policies on notification to the public as well as other law enforcement?
Answer that question, Sheriff. Thank you for your
Sheriff didn't really answer that question. If we could.
I'll tell you this, we're going to debrief on everything that went right and went wrong, and we will move accordingly to make sure that for every incident that occurs that we do the best that we can.
What about
we'll look at it.
What about getting the photos out, though? I mean, to get the public aware of who is out there. There was another delay before that was released to the media so we could put it out there.
We have to confirm who it is and pull their information. That's what the delay is.
And there was also a delay with getting the photos to other law enforcement. NOPD also said that as well.
I've answered the question.
Yeah, we'll have another
I've answered the
briefing
question.
at about 5:30. So if you have any more questions, you can call me directly. Y'all have my email, so you can call or email me directly. And if you have any more off-topic questions, I can ask you.
Yeah. So I'm just curious about we go to the city council every time someone having a facility, take tours, show them physically.
And that's why the millage is to make sure that we can.
Okay. So there you go. Hey, Maria S. Chemistry Queen. I hope you are safe. I really hope you and your family and anybody else that lives there in that area or anywhere, because they could go anywhere. They could hitch a ride and literally go anywhere. And if they had help on the outside and inside, they could go literally anywhere. So I hope everybody is safe. But literally what I am looking at right here said that this security expert said that this type of escape would have been calculated and taken some time to actually execute. And I do believe that. It didn't just happen overnight. Yeah, somebody dropped the ball. You are right about that, Trooper's mom. It is, Val. This whole world is getting crazy. It took a while to execute this plan. You heard the lady say, or it might have been the man say, tools was used. Well, people that work at the jail can't even bring in their own personal items. I've watched them at the jail. You know, you go visit somebody, and if they work inside the jail, they literally have to be scanned and checked to walk through there. They can't take stuff back. How in the hell did they get a hold of some tools? That makes no sense. Somebody's not on the up and up. Anything like that's considered contraband. And it will get you in jail and prison faster than lightning strikes. A damn pack of cigarettes and a lighter will get you in prison faster than lightning strikes. Yeah, Val, exactly. A bunch of them were escaping all at once. Exactly. And it said that it only took like 10 minutes for them to escape. Where was everybody at in 10 minutes? They have monitors everywhere. Yeah, good question. How did nobody not hear them cutting the hole or pulling shit loose from the wall? Exactly. They need to go back and, probably months, and look to see who was having contact with them, who worked there, who was having contact, who was signing in and out, who was walking them here, who was walking them there. You know, monitor those cameras real good. Yeah, they probably do. They probably did. And then they could get them on their own, or whoever was accounting for them, whoever was on duty that day, I don't know. Probably we've been watching too much Wentworth, A Woman's Warrior. Or Orange is the New Black. I don't know. Yeah, actually. But video surveillance, they're just going to have to go back through it. And they did call in the marshals, right? But Hudson believes they had help from inside and outside. The United Marshals, the Louisiana State Police, probation and parole was all notified, they said, by 9:30. You know, so what about the watching the Wentworth? But a full investigation is underway. She got me though right there. She said, we had to check on the victims first. The victims? The victims of who? That's locked up in the damn jailhouse? The victims are the ones on the streets. Come on, get real now. These people trip me out. What? The victims are going to be from these desperate people that escaped, that can't get their free lunch inside the jail, that don't have a bed to lay down in. The victims who's going to use their criminal acts in the past to get what they need to survive out there, when their people that helped them out can't and are being watched and won't help them anymore because their little bank accounts and everything are being watched. What victims? The only victims there are out on the streets for them to not be able to get back in there or get caught. That's the victims they need to be worried about. Yeah, the prisons are locked down. There's no victims in there. Boy, these people's got their wordings and all their shit mixed up. There's going to be a problem out on these streets. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. And these guys are out there to look for what they can get while they're out. Period. I'm sorry. They may take other people's lives or their own lives. They may not want to go back to jail. Some of them are even out there for taking lives. They don't care. Some of them are murder mohawk mom. At least one of them are that I know of. Let me see. And by the way, the names, in case you don't know yet, or anybody happens to know or wants to know, the ones that escaped names are Keith A. Lewis, D-K-E-N-A-N, DeCannon, Dennis, Gary C. Price, Robert Moody, Corey E. Boyd, Linton J. Van Buren Jr., Jermaine Donald, Antoine T. Massey, Derek D. Groves, Leo O. Tate Sr., and then they captured Kendall Miles. He was apprehended in the French Quarter. And they have likely changed out of their jail uniforms to avoid any identification of being in jail. They're likely to have had help with that. They're likely to have outside help with that. And they said you can, if you see them or know them or anything, call 911 or Crime Stoppers. And for God's sakes, you should not approach them. Well, that would take a while to Google all their charges and stuff. But I did hear on the news that at least one of them is for murder. Yeah, they could go after their victims. Absolutely. And you know what? They should have notified their victims, you know, except for the one that's dead, obviously. But they should have notified family or whatever. But they do have them out in the public, and their pictures out in the public now. Let me see something. Hold on, let me see something. All right, this is hold on. This is the latest. Hold on a minute. It is still underway for 10 inmates, so they haven't caught anybody. Several are facing murder charges or other violent charges. Here's what we know. And it's telling how they escaped. It's telling what I read you a few minutes ago. Around 12:23 a.m., the detainees began tampering with locked cell doors and were able to break it open. Okay, Keith Lewis, who was originally reported as an inmate, was confirmed to be inside the jail. That's the one that didn't escape. That's why they're not calling it 11, because he was moved to another pod or something. So that's why they're saying it's 10 and not 11. And then that Kendall Miles, okay, he's facing charges of intention to conceal a weapon. So he had a weapon on him. Introducing contraband into a prison and possession of contraband. Miles was taken into custody by Louisiana State Police. Okay, this Derek Groves was jailed in the first place on 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder. He was just convicted in October of 2024 in his case. Decan Dennis faces multiple illegal weapons charges, extortion, kidnapping, armed robbery, and theft charges. Gary Price was jailed on charges of simple assault, criminal damage, domestic abuse, battery, and assault with a weapon. Corey Boyd faces charges of second-degree murder, attempted second-degree murder, obstruction of justice, and threatening a law enforcement officer. Robert Moody was booked on charges of jailed on weapons and drug charges. Keeps bouncing back and forth. Linton Van Buren was facing charges of illegal carrying weapons, possession of firearms. I mean, this just goes on and on. Contraband into a prison. Leo Tate was facing charges of second-degree murder, attempted second-degree murder, obstruction of justice, simple burglary of a dwelling, firearm, weapon, of a felon and illegal carrying a weapon. Jermaine Donald was jailed on illegal weapon charges. My God, it just keeps going on and on. Hold on, I got something from one of my mods. Hold on, let me see. Okay, one of my mods just sent me something. Update, new ground and air search begins in case of missing Sullivan children. Okay, thank you. She must, okay, so they are doing a new ground search in the Jack, and I'm going to share that. Wow. Okay, so yeah, so they're all scary. Oh, there's a new plane crash out. What is going on with all these plane crashes? My God. Yeah, so they're not only, they're witnesses too. I mean, so what have they got to lose out there? What have they got to lose? There's so many, and I know I'm not supposed to be saying all that on here, but you know what? I am so sick of all the secrecy. It is what it is. You know, I'm so sick of we can't say this and we can't say that. We can't do this. Well, look, it is what it is. These people they have nothing to lose, and that's what they're in jail for. Okay, and this is a real life situation, and you know, I do too, baby kisses. And how are you supposed to sweeten up and sugarcoat this stuff when this is a real life situation that's going on? You know, these people need to know. They don't need to come to Smiley's channel and say, what is she talking about? What are these initials for? They need to know, if they come across these people, that this is a real live world manhunt, and they need to stay away from these people and call 911. They are escapees. They are dangerous. They did dangerous things, and don't approach, but they need to get off the street because they don't need to be the next one in their path, period. They don't need to have some little old lady coming on here going, oh, that's him. Hey, are you the one they're looking for? No, these people have committed crimes like murder, attempted murder. They're carrying weapons, guns, and stay the hell out of their paths. Okay, we need to get the word out. They're dangerous, period. Okay? And, you know, that's that. Period. So if anybody sees them, call 911 or call Crime Stoppers. And right now, keep your doors locked. Check your windows, especially if you're in that area. Keep your windows locked. Also, if you're locked and loaded, carry. Okay? Stay protected. Keep your doors locked if you go out in the car. Use common sense. Okay? Don't give anybody any rides. Don't do anybody any favors right now. Right now, it is not the time to be, you know, if you're the nice person like me, helping people, especially if you're in that area. Okay? Y'all stay safe, stay vigilant, and I'll see you out here in the streets. Love y'all. Take care of yourself. Many prayers to you. Talk to you later. Bye.